Sorry about the tardiness. Driving in from work kind of sucks. So, let me go ahead and grab today's script for y'all. It will be in the chat. And it is that right there. Okay. So, how's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
Doing great.
Good to hear. All right, let me mute on my phone so it's not a distraction this whole time. Sorry about that. And first off, to those of you who are new with us, welcome, welcome. You are more than welcome to just observe if you don't feel comfortable joining us, but if you do want to read, we'd absolutely love to have you. And let me give you a brief overview as to how it works. The mic check usually takes place in 3 sections. There's a cold read section where everybody has the chance to just read the script aloud in front of everybody else and do whatever you want to with it. We're not really going to discuss the script in too much detail at that point. Then we go to, actually, we're not going to discuss the script at all in detail at that point. It's just a cold read. Then we are going to go into the discussion portion of the mic check, where we actually break the script down, specific choices that we need to make, techniques that we need to use, all kinds of good stuff that we got to do with it. And then finally, we're going to do the directed portion of the mic check, where we're going to go in the same order that we established for the cold reads, or with the cold reads, and the balance of the mic check is going to be your directors. They're going to give you feedback based upon what it is we discussed during the discussion section. So again, I also want this to be very, very clear. We do stream this live onto YouTube. We have a small following there. It's not super gigantic, but if you feel uncomfortable with having your performance or your face or anything like that up there, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to take it down or do something else with it. The videos aren't monetized, so it's not like we're trying to profit off of your own performance. It's just so that we have a record of everything that we practiced and discussed, something that you could potentially look back to. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that before we get this started? Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and ask somebody to volunteer to be our first cold reader. Again, the cold reads are low pressure. It's just for us to have an order started.
I can do it if you'd like to.
Oh, we had 2 at once, Paul and Ram. Ooh. You know what? We'll do this. Ram, you'll go first. Paul, you'll go second. And Paul, you'll have the fun opportunity to choose who goes after you. That's the way we do it. Nobody volunteer. The only person who volunteers usually is only the first. But since we had 2, we're going to go ahead and let you both be the first ones.
No
So
problem.
I'm going to go ahead and give my lovely assistant, my wife, the thumbs up so that we can actually get this started. Oh, Jamie, welcome. Yes, of course.
All right.
We good? Nope, not yet. Okay. Hello and welcome everyone to this week's mic check. We are touching back on a topic we haven't done in a little while, which is corporate narration, explainer videos, however you want to refer to them as. This one's going to be a lot of fun, so let's go ahead and just dive into it. We got 2 new people joining us for our first readers for today, which is friggin' awesome. And we're going to go ahead and start with Ram. Ram, whenever you're ready, give us a read.
All right. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year. It's how business gets done. So it can't be changed or ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
All right, Paul, whenever you're ready, give us a cold read.
Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. Fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business, whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year. It's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
All right, Paul, and you have your choice of anybody else. Oh, sorry, there we go. You have your choice of anybody else in the meeting to choose who goes next. So you get to choose who reads after you, except for Jamie. Jamie's not going up right now.
I'll choose. I'll choose. Forgive me if I say this wrong. Leonard.
Okay.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, Leonard.
Yeah, Leonard. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work. Let's see who we have. James.
Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done. So it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps into the make networking work. You're next, Rowdy.
Have you ever met someone that likes networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationship with vendors, or just keeping track of hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done. So it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work. And on to you, Justin.
Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business, whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of hundreds of people you meet each year. It's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work. Oh, it's just Jamie and Michael left, right?
That's right.
And were you saying Jamie's not going
He's
to?
here now. Jamie's back.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're up, Jamie.
Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done. So it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work. Michael?
Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business, whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year. It's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work. Okay, so unless I'm mistaken, which I'm pretty sure I'm not, we've gotten through everybody, right? Nobody has not taken a turn. And don't worry about TMC VO workout, that's just the mod account. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this script. So, you got some new people, so I need to explain the terminology. We generally lump scripts into two different categories. They're voice over and voice under. That generally refers to your mic technique, how you're going to use it, how you're going to approach the script, just as an overall like blanket point of performance. Generally, a voice over script is one where you are fairly close to the microphone, where you're the most prominent voice there, and where everybody's listening to you. You are the center of attention. Oftentimes, the most prominent examples of that kind of voiceover script are things like video games and radio narration, stuff that's just voice or where voice is most prominent. Voice under generally denotes where you are playing second fiddle or getting people to pay attention to something else that's going on screen. So that would be certain things like documentary narration or car commercials, those kinds of things where, yes, you are a voice actor. Yes, you are you are lending your voice and life to the script. But what's most important is what people are seeing in front of them. So based on what you can tell from the context of this script is already, or that we have right now, the direction, the writing, everything like that, how would you approach the script? Is this a voice over script where you're more prominent, or a voice under script where whatever's happening on screen is more prominent?
I would say voice under.
Okay. Paul, could you turn up your gain a little bit? It's a little difficult to
I
hear you.
wasn't close enough to the mic at that. What was it close enough to my mic at?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
It sounds almost like you're like it's not the mic in front of you that's picking up your voice, but some other mic.
Yeah, you need to check your game.
Or just whichever mic you're actually using.
Make sure Zoom is using the microphone that you're using.
I think it is.
Zoom sometimes does some weird and funky things with the audio. Thankfully, we can hear you. We can hear you pretty well. It's just it's going to come through a little bit low. It kind of sounds like you're speaking through a phone, just a little bit.
Hold up. Let's try this again.
There we go.
There we go.
I'm looking at a shotgun mic and I'm thinking, there's no way he's got that quality from that. There's something going on with the settings.
Yeah, and I was just like, hold on. I had to double check, look at it, and it's like, nah. I didn't have my mic set to my interface. I have Zoom set to my interface.
Got it. Okay.
But
yeah, I
from
would
a
say
tenor to a bass in about
yeah.
Sounds much better now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you say voice under. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other people agree or disagree with that? Voice under, voice over? What do you think?
Voice under.
Voice under.
Voice under.
Agreed.
I was gonna say voiceover.
Oh,
I
why is
agree with
that,
Roddy
Roddy?
on this one.
I was looking at the directions, and since it was a training video, I was under the assumption that we would be the only ones talking. So, in order for whoever's watching to understand what's going on, they would need us to elaborate. So, yeah,
Well,
that's my reasoning.
corporate narration or explainer videos do fall under this really, really strange category where technically they are written and produced as though your performance would be a voice under, in which they have lots of flashy things going on screen, but they are treated more like a voice over performance. So you are the most prominent voice. You are the thing that's bringing the information to life and trying to hold the attention of the person for a long period of time. Voice under works really well, mostly for either like tightly controlled or highly visual experiences. Again, I would say that things like documentaries are a great example of that, where it's just really highly visual and they have a lot of stuff playing out in front of you. Um, voice under would work out well for that. But for something like this, where you are trying to highlight the information and keep somebody's attention for a very long period of time, then treat this as a voiceover performance. You are a prominent character in this performance. So be upfront, be confident, and that's where we're going to start. So let's talk about your character. You in the script. Who is speaking here? Whose words vibe this person?
It would be the corporate itself,
Okay.
or a spokesperson of the company per se.
Okay.
So it'll be me as the spokesperson.
You bring up an interesting point there. We'll get to that. Roddy, what are you going to say?
Reminds me of the training videos that I would have to watch when I started working at Amazon. So I want to say something of a learning ambassador, basically the person that oversees just the training, like not exactly management. But then again, it kind of depends on like how big the company is. So yeah, my final
Okay.
answer is probably like the training ambassador or something.
Okay.
I see it as like someone, a presenter to a business, rather than, because the way it comes across with that viewpoint is you're you're basically trying to present. If you were in front of like a group of businessmen, it's like saying, we don't like to do this. Like, here's like, if I had a PowerPoint and you're the presenter, I'm presenting to this group like, we have a solution for this, to a group of people who might have a trouble with networking.
Okay. So then, should your character, whoever you're playing here, also have these kinds of issues? Should they understand that feeling that you're trying to get at? Understand the problem you're trying to solve?
I would say, yeah.
So too. Reason being, so we had, it was a long time ago, we had Matt Walsh on with us. And if you're not familiar with Matt Walsh, he's an awesome, awesome voiceover coach. And his approach is really, really interesting. I think it was Matt Walsh. If I'm incorrect, then I'm sorry. It has been quite some time, but his approach was that you are personally invested in this. You work for the company, you work for Shuri or the developer of Shuri, and you were a business owner for 13 years. And the worst part of your job was just trying to make those connections. That was the worst thing that you had to deal with. So you understand that frustration just of constantly trying to reach out and deal with people and get people to notice you and come back to you and just talk to you about your service and product, because that's what you really wanted to get into. But so much of your time was eaten up with all this networking that you decided to do something about it. You took your expertise in coding and in your experience with business, and you decided to help make this. Right? So now you have a character, you, whoever you are, your own personal voice, your own personal brand, but with this more grounded experience with what you're talking about. You know what that's like. You understand the frustration of networking. And honestly, as voice actors, you should understand the frustration with networking. That should be one of your number one frustrations. So, like, there's some personal connection there. So you did something about it. You started working for this app that you use now, and it has absolutely transformed the way you approach it. So, Ram, when you said you working for the company, or you like wearing the company logo, something like that, 100% agree with that, because this is the most engaging approach you can take with it. You wear the company's logo because you believe in what you're doing, because it has actually changed what you're doing, right? There's a direct one-to-one correlation, a one-to-one connection. In regular acting parlance, that would be called a why. That's your why. Is I freaking decided to do something about this crap because I'm so sick of it. So
Yep.
now that we have that idea in mind, let's talk about what that sounds like, right? So, or actually, before we move on from that, does anybody disagree with that assessment? Do you think that maybe we should try something different, or do you think a personal connection to the problem you're solving is probably the right way to go?
Well, it's probably self-explanatory. That really doesn't need any more explanation. It's perfectly spot on.
Okay. Again, though, I know that some people are kind of adamant that no, these should just be just do the information. And I'm like, okay, there's a time and place for that too. But I think with something like this, you're not beating around the bush. These aren't like low level people you're dealing with. If you look at who this is actually like geared for, from the direction, it said you're going to be uh, you'll be heard by professionals of all kinds from a wide range of specializations. You're not talking idiots, right? You're talking to like genuine human beings, and you're talking to people who are smart and on top of things. So if you solved a problem, you're a professional, which clearly you are, and you now want to present that to somebody. What is that going to sound like? What does it sound like when you have a solution to somebody's problem?
I have a general question about
Yeah.
this script. You mentioned that it should be read like a voiceover, but since the goal is to get the listener engaged to the content, isn't the content the main star and the voiceover is second fiddle to that?
Okay, what do you mean specifically by content? Getting them to pay attention to the content.
Well, you mentioned for explainer videos or training videos, what they're talking about is the main point of focus. It might not necessarily be, it might not necessarily have visuals in it, but the
The visuals could just be literally what you're saying as text as it appears on the screen.
It could be that.
Maybe.
Oftentimes, sometimes it's B-roll of just happy-looking people, or of people using the app, or of whatever it is in action itself. I think I see what you mean here. Um, the real content of an explainer video is your information. Is the point you are trying to make as the person speaking. That's the ultimate overall content. You're not trying to get them to just pay attention to things on the screen. The screen is mostly visual filler for the information you're trying to share. Does that help it out at all?
so
Or
does that mean this is still really a voiceover?
yes. Yeah,
Okay.
because the main crux of all of the information, all of the deeper explanations of what's going on, guiding people through what it is they're seeing on screen is going to be you saying everything. What's on screen is going to be probably pretty generic, and realistically, when it comes to corporate narration, there's usually a block of speaking and video, and then an assessment, and then more speaking in a video, and then an assessment. And these are oftentimes structured as though you, who are delivering this script, are some kind of an instructor or expert in the subject matter itself. So really, the visuals are to keep people's eyes mostly focused in this direction while you tell them everything they need to know.
When you say focus in a direction, you mean focus on the voiceover, since the voiceover person is a character in this kind of script?
For the most part, yeah, you want them focusing on the information you're trying to communicate.
Okay.
All in all, you are the most important focus of this script.
Hmm.
I mean, if you want to, we can break that down a little bit afterwards. That's fine. But Yeah, we're going to treat this like a voiceover.
Okay.
Right. Anything else? Any other questions, comments, anything like that? No. Okay. So subject and matter expert sounds like what? When somebody is really knowledgeable of something, how would you describe that sound?
Um, if I may, it would sound something more, given that I'm a person who's a bassist, I wouldn't use bass, for example. I would pretty much sound something within the lines of high baritone, something, or maybe mid baritone at this level, maybe even high, just to express engagement, excitement, energy. I don't want the listener to basically unhook and basically not be interested in what we're talking about, or I'm talking about. So the voice that I would be using, like I mentioned, would be, in my case, would be high baritone with the focus of expressing, like you mentioned, professionalism. I would say even etiquette or class, to give the brand kind of a unique uh, level, taste. Uh, that's just basically what I'd be using in this case. Um,
Okay.
so answer. I hope that answers your question. I would love some feedback from your side if I made anything, or if you find
I'm
anything wrong
just
with
I'm
my
just
judgment.
fishing. I'm just fishing for any kind of responses, any thoughts or ideas. So
I'd
what you
say a
shared is
little bit
perfectly
more
fine.
confident, sure of yourself as you're giving out the
Yeah. So the vocal aesthetics, how you hold your voice, whether you use certain pitches or tones or whatnot, is going to be entirely your call individually as an actor. Everybody's voice is shaped differently. Everybody's voice comes out differently. So how you carry yourself is going to come off individually to you yourself. But the mindset or the general tone that you're trying to go for, I 100% confident, warm, um, maybe a little bit excited. Maybe I don't know if because excited has a dangerous connotation for a lot of people. People tend to get really super bubbly when things get excited, and that's probably not the best term. I prefer to use the term engaged, but those are the kinds of things that I'm looking for. It's just the general mindset that you should
It's
be in.
the excitement that I was talking about. It's
Mhm.
not like a part or expecting for a party type of excitement. It would be just something related to like an idea pitch, like pitching for an idea.
Yeah,
You
and
know, that turn level.
yeah, the only reason why I bring that up is because again, sometimes with some actors, that word excitement has a connotation to it, just in general
Agreed.
of that bristly, almost yelling kind of tone. And I wouldn't want to go there, but I see what you mean. I don't think that's a bad take. Does anybody else have any other thoughts, any other mindsets that kind of come to your mind when you think of speaking of something you're an expert in?
I say
For me, go ahead.
Authoritative?
yeah, authoritative, especially for me, because like lean into your authoritative or the gravitas. Like this is your expertise. You are center stage. You are delivering this, and you know what these people need.
Yeah.
And it should sound like you've delivered this for the 200th time or the 200,000th time. You can
Yeah,
rattle it
so
off in your sleep.
so what I like here is that there's a lot of personalization in this. I mean, have you ever met someone who liked networking? There's that personal side. So part of delivering this with confidence, I think, is knowing the information you want to get to, but being totally okay with being like human throughout the entire thing. Like being willing to BS with somebody along the way, have a little bit of fun with it, be human, but know where it is you're trying to go.
Yeah, the word that comes to my mind for this is mentor.
Mentor is a good one.
So to me, it's very much like you're talking one on one to somebody else. Hey, I know you've got this problem. Here's how I solved it. You might want to try that too, because hey, it worked for me. Maybe it'll work for you.
Yeah. So that's the general mindset that I think we should all be striving for. However, you reach that is going to be entirely up to you as an actor, because, like I said, Everyone's voice is different and the way they carry themselves is different. But we want to achieve that mindset. Do you sound like an expert? Do you sound authoritative, confident, approachable, like you know what you're talking about? Those are going to be the main things that we're going to be listening for when it comes to the feedback section. Now, I think we've gotten some good information around this. Unless anybody has any further questions or comments or anything, which I'm going to open up to now.
Nay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
go
a
ahead.
quick comment. I think a good reference point of a similar train of thought would be you're a contestant on the Shark Tank. You're coming in to pitch this app to get funding for your business. That and to have and you have to be very confident to know what you're talking about is going to be successful and be a good investment.
I mean, that's an approach. I'm sure that could help somebody. I know from what I've heard from the Shark Tank, a lot of it is really just direct salesy. But again, I don't watch it regularly, so I don't know if that's like the norm on there or whatnot. But again, if that helps you get into that mindset, then that's what's most important.
Yeah, I would say be careful with because it says right at the top this, underline bold, not sales. So with the Shark Tank mindset, you could very easily go really pushy and go into that very salesy. I feel this is more, almost like you're talking to a peer. This is somebody who's struggling with things that like you said, you've already figured this out, and I'm just here to lay it all out. This is, take it or leave it. This is the way it is, and I guess that goes with that confidence too. Is I'm not going to push you into this. You either want it or you don't, and here's the information, and good day, type of thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But again,
Yeah.
everybody's approach might be different. It could work for you. We'll see what happens. Okay. Any more? Anything else? Going once, going twice. Okay, cool. We're now going to go ahead and go through the same reading order that we had before. I've got it listed up here, so don't worry about that. I'll handle it. But now we're going to do the directed portion of the mic check. So we have 2 rules here, and don't worry, I will remind you, and whenever Mateo is able to reconnect, he'll remind you too. But we have 2 rules for the directed portion of the mic check that we always stick to. Rule number, these are named after previous attendees to the mic check, which explains the interesting names. The first rule is the Dan rule, and the second rule is the Nephilim rule. So the Dan rule states that when you are up to perform, so when it is your turn to actually speak, you cannot critique your own performance. Don't do it. We want you solidly focused on what you are doing, on just performing, being the actor. That's where we need your headspace. You leave the direction to us. When it's somebody else's turn, have at it. Go for it. But when you are up to read, please stay focused as the performer and delivering your best performance. The Nephilim rule is you do not apologize for your read either before, during, or after it. No apologies. However your confidence level may be when you approach this, whatever. It's fine. We get it. Sometimes you're off, sometimes you're on. It all depends. But nobody has ever been let go from a job, at least as far as I have seen and heard, for making a mistake. That's why there are editors. If you mess up on a script or if you're not quite there, nobody's going to fault you for just taking a pickup, stopping the read, and starting back over. Like, that is perfectly acceptable here too. So again, we want you focused as the performer and not worried about what other people are going to judge you for, just on delivering your best performance. Anyway, with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and start up with Ram. Ram, whenever you're ready, give us a read.
Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year. It's how business gets done. So it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
Okay, opening it up. What did you all think?
This, at first glance, sounds a bit too polished, too salesy. To my ears, I don't really hear you coming through on it. I don't feel that you have a real connection to it. I mean, yeah, I'd like to hear a more personal connection to it.
Yeah, I thought the middle paragraph sounded a lot better than the first and the last. Especially with the proliferation of all the AI crap that's out there now. It's, you know, the beginning or the end of every single sentence or punctuation ended on a down note. Who likes networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying. You know, it sounded very robotic in that sense. So, and that, you know, that lends itself to, I think, what Jamie might have been hearing too. And then the middle paragraph was a little more musical, not overly, I don't think. But then the last paragraph kind of went into that salesy business down note on every single one again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, definitely felt like you were talking like I don't know how to approach this because it is what it says in the thing. Like you're informing someone. It definitely sounded like you were, but I mean, I guess like like both of them were saying the approach seems a bit too AI-ish. Yeah, like Justin saying, talking at me, not to me. So yeah.
Can you give me a detail that's in your mind but not in the script, real quick?
Sorry, say that again.
What's in your mind that's not in the script as you're saying this? What did you specifically build? Give me something in that world that you built that's not in the script.
Interesting. So at the end, you truly found the fact that I did pitch it as a sale at the very end. The middle part, I wanted, like, I think, is what I tried to do. Like you mentioned, some of you, the symphony of basically organizing the words and trying to deliver them to the reader as to the reader, not at the reader. But I think, like you guys mentioned, I think I need to fix the ending, probably even the beginning. Sound less monotone, probably. Is that what you guys are trying to explain or
Well, the reason
give?
why I was asking you that question is because we all agreed that even in e-learning, you are a character as a voice here. So if you're going to step into that character, you need to know what that character is doing. This is why I asked, what did you create? What did you imagine in your world as you're saying the character? For example, are you walking around with a cup of coffee with this guy? Or are you standing and pointing at something? Just bring us in.
Well, interesting. I did not imagine anything, to be honest.
There we
It's cool.
go.
I personally
There we
don't
go.
imagine anything. I just
That so the
understand
thing
that
is,
sort of art.
what the thing is you're going to automatically sound a lot more grounded when you have a scene around you. Something.
Interesting.
Even if you're talking with a small group of people, like be in that scene. Like for instance, let's construct that a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. So you start off with, have you ever met someone who liked networking? Why are you asking that question? What are you trying to get from people?
Interesting. So, if I was to imagine it, probably like sitting down with a friend on a gloomy day, like on a park, let's say in a park. Um, Something within that sort. Have a cup of coffee, discussing networking and stuff like that.
Okay, so then is your friend then what does your friend do for a living?
Um, Let's.
That should be easy to answer because we're talking about business here,
I
right?
mean, definitely.
Your friend is a
networking.
business owner.
A business owner, yeah,
There we
networking with
go.
people, connecting with people, so on and
Yeah,
forth.
right. But now we're talking about intent. So let's go ahead and actually talk about intent here. So we start off with asking a question. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? What response are you fishing for?
Probably it's very tiring. Uh, probably socially depleting. People get very, exhausted from talking with people, connecting with people. So
Right, but you can boil it down to something a lot smaller than that. The direct answer to that is no. Because you immediately follow up with, well, neither have we. Right?
yeah,
It's an actual interaction here. Have you ever met somebody who liked networking? No, hell no. I've never met anybody. None of my associates like networking. That's the worst part of our job. Yeah, right. Neither have we. Networking is annoying, right? You're getting the
Indeed.
no, and you're getting on the same level with them. Have you ever met somebody who liked networking? Absolutely not. Neither have we. Do you see that? There's a back and
Yep.
forth to it now.
So it's more for dialogue, but
Absolutely.
in a sense,
Absolutely.
but there's no dialogue. It's
Right.
just an imaginary dialogue.
Exactly.
I see
And
what
this
you
is what
got.
we're talking
That's
about
very
with
good.
this is what we're talking about with creating the scene. So if you're sitting, whatever situation you want to be in talking with your friend, you better make sure that your friend is a business owner and hates networking.
That's where the voiceover gets in, basically.
Because now
Got
you're
it.
talking to them.
Interesting.
And if you can at all, visualize a specific person. It could be your mom, could be your dad, could be your friend, whoever it is. Bring up a mental image of a specific person that you're talking to.
I actually have one in mind.
Perfect. The other thing
Great.
is that people are going to react to what you say, right? So, have you ever met somebody who liked networking? No. Yeah, neither have we. Fact is, networking sucks. But it's essential to growing your business. Yeah, unfortunately it is. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationship with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year. Man, I hate having to lug around all of those freaking business cards that I get handed all the time. Right.
But it can't
But
be
unfortunately,
ignored.
it's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. See, there's reactions you're trying to go
That's
for.
amazing. Yeah.
So now think about that. Think about the reaction you want to have from the person you're talking to and react back to them. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and give it another read from the top.
Right. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Excuse me. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business, whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year. It's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
Okay, opening it up. What did you all think of that read?
Vastly
It's how
better.
business gets done, so it can't be ignored. Is two sentences. I kind of want to hear it as one, but you are moving forward here, and I like where you're going here. I like the choice.
Yeah, it was far more engaging. It felt like you were talking to me and not just talking out to random whatever.
Interesting.
And also,
I do have two technical notes.
Yep, please do tell.
Let me bring up the script here. So suggestions for you. I would hit liked in that first sentence. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? And not just, have you ever met someone who liked networking? Because if you hit like, it really contrasts with, no, they don't like networking, they hate networking.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And the second one is you went, that's where Shuri comes in. And I would billboard Shuri a little more. I mean, yeah, you don't want to be salesy, but it's still Shuri's paying the bill for this. They want their
so
name
always
to be there.
Ball the hero.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
Shuri comes in. Something like that. But other than that, I think you're totally on the right track. It felt way more engaging. Huge progress.
Thank you. Thank you.
Paul, did you have something you wanted to say?
I was gonna say that sounded closest to you. That read like how you would talk, because like us just listening to you when we either just talking to you or just giving feedback, that's what I started to realize and recognize in that delivery. It was you who came through that time.
That's interesting. Yep. I had something similar to, I've seen a video of somebody saying, a great voice actor, but I forgot his name, to be honest. Not good with names. Where he says, don't underestimate your self voice. Basically, what you can bring out with your voice. But I usually tend to always try to find different voices, something unique, but never actually focus on my own voice or myself, in other words. So that's a great re-advice or reconsideration about that tip, Paul. Thank you.
Yeah, it's not about the voice at all. It's about the mental attitude.
Indeed.
So, I'm going to mirror Leonard's technical notes. Liked networking, liked should definitely be billboarded right there. And that's where Shuri comes in. So Shuri, try not to sell it to me, but try to highlight it. It's where Shuri comes in. This is going to fill the gap for you.
So it would sound something within the lights of, that's where Shuri comes in.
That's where Shuri comes in. Because you hit that's really hard there. That's where Shuri comes in.
That's where Shuri comes in.
There you go. There you go. I can't quite see your camera, so you don't need to turn it on. But
no, it's not on. Sorry about that.
That's fine. It's fine. It's no big deal. But you use your body when you do these things. Have you ever met somebody who liked networking?
Yeah, I actually use gestures and stuff like that.
That's where Shuri comes in. Point at it, like point at Shuri, or lift up your phone, or do something. But if you apply an action to a word, you inadvertently apply emphasis to it in a very approachable way. So it's like you don't highlight it in a salesy way, you highlight it in a more natural way if you apply some kind of gesture. Met somebody who liked networking, that's where Shuri comes in. Just give it something. Whenever you're ready, from the top.
All right, one more time. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of hundreds of people you meet each year. It's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make it. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
Okay, opening it up. What did you all feel about that one?
Brody, you're giggling too much.
Me? No.
Roddy, you have been called out.
No, I'm trying to think how to say. I'm trying to think how to say it.
Well, what I'm going to say is that was improved upon it was an improvement upon the previous read too in its approachability. I don't know how comfortable you are, Rem, with sort of approaching things in your own voice, but it certainly sounded more like that this time. If the second one was like a light year jump from the first read, then this one was definitely a massive stride forward from the previous one. You still missed the emphasis specifically on Shuri at the very end. That was more of a technical note rather than an actual like performance faux pas. So it isn't like I would think that highlighting Shuri in this script would make more sense just due to the nature of the project itself. So don't think that this is like you're making some massive mistake over the course of your career. Not at all.
Yeah.
But whatever you're doing to approach this script differently, you're doing it very, very well.
Thank you. You guys nailed every single technical issue or even expressive issue per se. You guys were massive help. Thank you.
Well, I mean, that's the point. If you go to a practice that isn't helping you figure out where you need to strengthen, why are you going there?
Exactly. Well, nobody knows when you can find some weak spots in your abilities.
Well, yeah. Nothing's ever perfect. Nobody's ever perfect. And you should always be striving to improve on your speciality. And I 100% abide by that philosophy here that if you come to this practice, if you spend the precious time of your life to be here with us, you better get something valuable out of it. And holy crap, you're going to. If it's the last thing I do, you're going to take something away from this practice. But let's go ahead and talk about it. How was that particular read? What did you all think of it?
I couldn't get the technical things that Leonard pointed out about the like at the beginning, how it can make the difference in how it's said when you emphasize like instead of hold up, let me look back at the script. Networking. Yeah, like emphasize the liked more. Like, have you ever met someone who liked networking instead of like just going straight through it? But I guess it can be a force of habit sometimes.
Yeah, I would like another line read of just that first line for that exact reason.
Okay.
Sure. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Have you ever met someone who liked networking?
No, A or B for sure. A or B, absolutely. A, probably the most spot on. If you ever had met anyone who liked networking, it felt the most natural. What you did there definitely felt the most natural.
I think it was the best one. Yeah, true. Yeah, C was a mess up, to be honest.
You leave that to us. That's a Dan rule violation.
Yeah. Oh my God. Do I get spanked?
No. First off, you're going to see Mateo down at the bottom over here. At least he's on the bottom for me. He's going to be freaking out. He might even flash his lights red and blue sometimes. But no. We have agreed that it's just randomly flashing colors now. But we have agreed that the punishment for a Dan rule violation is either 5 push-ups or 5 sit-ups or 5 squats, just 5 of some kind of body weight exercise off mic. So,
all right, I promise I'll send you a video of it tomorrow. But now I can't.
I'll take a video. You don't have to.
But it's only 5.
Well, you can do 50 if you want.
No. You see, no, Roddy. If we are working one-on-one, it doubles.
Okay.
If we're working one-on-one, it doubles, and we have, and that's when it's happened. Okay. Although you have gone above and beyond during previous mic checks, so I appreciate that. But yes, we're going to be. Well, it'll be 5. That'll be it. It'll be fine. And you don't need to send a video. Just do it. But yeah, I think we're good to go. Unless somebody has anything else they'd like to hear from Ram, I think we got some really solid reads.
We're good.
All right, cool. Let's do this. Paul, you are up.
Hey, man.
Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it is essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year. It's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shori comes in. Shori is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
Nice ad lib at the beginning.
Thank you.
Oh, you can hear us okay? Even
Yeah, I
without
can
that?
hear you.
Okay.
I
Did you
turned up
say
the
okay?
headphones so that I could work with the
Okay.
hands off, yeah.
Look, let me tell you though, that is fantastic. That is really, really good habits that you're building right there. Do not perform with the headphones on. Always perform with them off. Just chef's kiss. In terms of the performance itself, I like where you started off, but you kept it a little too lackadaisical.
Yeah.
Like you need to maintain your professionality, that authority that you were talking about, at least through the middle sentence. Because it was kind of there were some mess ups there. You were flipping around for some of the words, and I'm sure that threw you off quite a bit. But I want you to focus up right there. Like you know those struggles, but it's essential to growing your business, whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year, right? Like be the point because you know those struggles personally. So I'm going to open it up. Anybody else have anything they'd like to say?
I would have suggested that it was a bit, like you mentioned, a bit too much relaxed in the beginning. Uh, it was a conversation, but it was more of a relaxed conversation. It wasn't, I would say, like you mentioned, professional or there is definitely authoritative, but just relaxed. Maybe up the energy just a tiny bit, just more engaging, per se. Just in the beginning. The rest was perfect, in my opinion. Or
You
mid-perfect.
you were saying it well, you were having the conversation like you were in the living room on the couch. It would probably be better to have it like you were in the break room at work, if you get what I'm saying.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
Anybody
just my
else?
opinion. Just my
I
opinion.
agree.
All right. Well, Paul, go ahead and give us another read whenever you're ready.
Look, have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year. It's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shori comes in. Shori is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
Love the ending.
Absolutely. For this one though, I I loved the tone that you had. You definitely sounded more like a professional there, and you definitely sounded more like you had everything put together. You just go moving way too quickly. Slow that down. If you can keep the same mental space, that same professional mindset, but just slow it down so we can follow along a lot closer, I think that'll be perfect.
I would agree because when you were going at that pace, you sort of turned into you kind of went into sales presentation mode right at the end. And even though this is a presentation, they have specifically said this is not a sales presentation. So um, I like the very beginning of it, where you did sound a little relaxed. I want to see a little bit more of a smile in your face. A smile will give you confidence, and the confidence will come through in the read.
On top of what everyone else said, I would add if you mess up a line, if it didn't go quite the way you wanted, just go back to the beginning of the sentence and read it again. It's perfectly okay.
Yep. And last mentioned in the middle paragraph between each year, and it's how business you kind of stopped or misstepped is probably because you were reading too fast and lost a little bit of breath. You just need to slow it down, like everybody mentioned, and don't forget to take a breather in every opportunity you take between sentences.
All right. Well, whenever you're ready, from the top.
Hmm. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year. It's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
Cut it, print it, done. That was it. Hit every
Yep,
point I was
send it
looking
to the
for.
customer.
Every point
Show
I
it to
was
the
looking for.
client. Perfect. Well done.
Yeah, that was you kept on to that professional. You, how much experience have you had behind the microphone?
How much experience?
Yeah, like how long have you been doing voiceover for?
This will be going into year 3-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you landed some paid work? Have you done that pretty regularly, or have you
I
taken
wouldn't say
coaching?
regularly, but I have landed some.
You've landed some. Okay. Have you
Yeah.
taken or have you received coaching at all?
I'm receiving coaching, yeah.
Okay. There we go. It's showing. It's showing. Your ability to maintain certain aspects of previous reads and apply new direction to them is a telltale sign of somebody who either has lots of experience behind the microphone or is currently working with a coach. And you certainly showed that, because that professional attitude that you brought out with your second read was maintained with the third one, but at the perfect pace for this script. So whoever you're going to for coaching, it's working out, truly, because that was very apparent to see. And overall, I think that performance was really, really solid. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to other people.
Absolutely. You nailed it. That was really good. No comments on that. And just like you, Paul, been doing this also for 3 years. Although on one minor, I'm self-taught. I do have a mentor who casually sometimes gives me tips, but I haven't been coached yet. It's kind of rare to have a coach in where I live. But you nailed it. You were spot on everything.
Thank you.
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I can hear a resounding lack of complaint here, so I think we're good to move on. Leonard, you are up whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Let's go.
Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
All right, opening it up.
I would say it's good. It's just a midway from the paragraph all the way down, it felt a bit monotone. It just basically same level. There
Okay.
was just not too much. I wouldn't say too much. There's just not enough from all those emotions and expressions and the acting that we spoke about. But definitely the beginning was there.
Yeah, it was a tad bit on the fast side.
Yeah.
That certainly detracted a little bit from it for me. But The thing that you did that nobody else has done so far throughout the cold reads or the few directed reads that we've had yet was you made this sound like a solid introduction, like you were going to lead into something else. And that is really, really good. That's actually what I was really
Yeah.
looking for, specifically for this, because again, it is an intro and it's leading into it. Or it's leading into the rest of the presentation. But yeah, differentiate each of the three main points in the middle paragraph with its own like hassle value, if that makes sense. So like whether it's finding new customers, you know, that's kind of a hassle, but it's a normal thing. Building relationships with vendors, which is probably not the worst hassle you have to deal with, or keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year. That one is the worst one. You know, like give each of those various struggles that you're going to solve its own different weight.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is nitpicking, but the kind of fell into the list trap on that one. It was the up, up, down with the list.
Okay. Anything else?
I'd say for especially the second paragraph, if you could slow it down a tad bit, I think it'll be it's just that it'll be easier to digest so that it didn't feel like it was just a tad bit rushed through.
Okay.
All right,
Take
Leonard,
two.
whenever you're ready, go for it.
Okay. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
Oh, you caught me off guard with that. I was expecting you to keep going. Well, I mean, needless to say, I was invested, but I'm going to go ahead and open it up. What did y'all think of that performance?
A very significant change from the first one, of course. The pace was perfect, in my opinion. Um, the connection was definitely there between him talking to me, not at me, of course. Uh, to me, there's nothing more. I couldn't. There was, I would say, in the beginning, I believe, just the beginning paragraph, it kind of slightly changed from the previous one, just slightly to the not good. Probably the first one was better, like you mentioned, Michael. It was really perfect. I even mentioned that before. Um, the beginning was perfect, the last one. So let's keep that one. With the second one would have been perfect. Would have been a take, sell it, in my opinion.
It's gonna sound weird. I feel like it lost something from the first one. Cause like
Okay.
I guess its overall tone in the first one, despite the list thing, it felt like it would have been in the video. And like, I don't know, I just didn't really feel the same with the second one, oddly enough. But yeah, I guess overall I prefer the tone in the first one that you had when you delivered it. Again,
Okay.
personal thing.
Okay, so from what I'm hearing, there's just some thing that needs to change.
I was saying the tone in the first one was better.
Definitely the tone.
Okay, okay. So what was it about the tone of the first one?
I guess, experience bias because, like, I keep thinking back to when I first started at Amazon and we would have to watch the introductory videos. Like, the first take that you did, it sounded like it would be something in that video for the training and stuff.
Okay, it is experience bias that's going
Yeah,
on right now. All right, well, I mean that's fair enough, but see, the thing is Leonard is not doing something for Amazon,
right.
so we gotta
Yeah,
differentiate that, and is speaking to an entirely different class of people. Amazon's training is mostly for people who are new to Amazon, where
right.
Shuri's training is mostly for people who are established in their career but need an extra tool. So it is a completely different kind of audience we're speaking to here.
Mhm.
So I'd be very careful about that experience bias here.
Yeah,
Um,
sort of a mental blockage.
Again,
I
it
think.
happens. That's fine, but it's good that you recognized it. Uh, but yeah, we need to understand that there are two separate audiences for those particular pieces of media, for this Shuri networking app and for the Amazon onboarding. So Leonard, for this next one, um, again, you're speaking to un or several established business professionals in their fields, but you understand the struggles they're going through. So it's, what is it? Casual professional, I guess.
Okay.
Let's hear
I'm
that.
not sure what I'm changing from the previous read to this next one. What would you like me to do?
A little slower,
Okay.
more control of the situation, more engaged with who you're talking to.
Okay. Well, let's see. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
Okay, thoughts?
You lost a little bit of the friendliness that I
Mhm.
miss in the second read. I like the second read. Was why my mouth was shut.
Yeah, me too, to be honest. The second read was actually good. The
And
tone and
you kind of
everything.
turned it a little bit more commercial. And I know you didn't mean to, but you kind of led yourself that way. But you
Okay.
did slow down, so that was good.
It's just like, what more do you want from me?
I think
Hey, as long as everybody gets a read they're happy with, whether it's the first, the second, the third, I don't care.
yep. And also there's this part where the expression was the same where it wasn't where it shouldn't be. When you said hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done. You should have played with that voice, with that expression on there. I wouldn't say the voice, I would say the expression. Uh, just made it different. But generally speaking, yes, in my opinion, halfway it was really good. The rest was commercial.
You know what? Give us a retake of the middle read, or of the middle paragraph.
Yes, please.
Okay. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored.
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Indeed.
What I got from the fact that the the direction where you started getting a little bit hazy was that you were generally in a really good spot. It's just I think that there was just people were noticing or picking up as odd. Usually that's the case when you get lots of vague feedback. Is that it's generally pretty good. We're just finding something, you know. But I think, yeah, I think what you gave to us all together really worked, and I think we're going to go ahead and move on now.
Thank you.
So, moving right along, James, you are up. It sounds like that goose outside wants to join.
Lovely.
Yeah, let me mute.
All right. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done. So it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
You know what, James? You're making it really difficult to give you any kind of feedback.
I
Yep.
like the tone. I
I'll
like the
just
tone.
keep quiet. I'll just keep quiet.
That's not fair. You're not allowed to do it in one shot.
Yeah.
So one take
Well, yeah.
Johnny's around here.
All right, bring us into the world that you are talking when you say this. What are you doing?
Well, in my day job, I train people. I do orientations and things like that. So
Cheater! I'm just kidding.
I was about to say same thing.
I'm used to
Imposter.
talking to people as kind of the SMEs, subject matter expert for those that don't speak that lingo. So a lot of times I'm talking on things that I don't know shit about, but I have to make it sound like I do. So I was just channeling my work persona.
Okay,
This is the
so
one time where experience bias comes into
Yes.
play.
I was about to
Yes.
say it's no fair. He's overqualified.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's overqualified. You should be sitting with Michael.
You better
right
have
now.
a killer e-learning demo.
Okay, so James, let me pick your brain a little bit. Since you do this for a living, what are some of the things that you have picked up, if you can enumerate them? What are some of the things that you have picked up that allows you to communicate confidently and clearly like you did? What helps make you helps make you appear as the subject matter expert or speak on something as the subject matter expert?
A lot of it is just being relaxed in front of people. When I first started doing it 10 years ago, um, I was just a ball of nerves and I stumbled over everything, even stuff that I knew. I knew the material. It was that fear that people are going to think I'm a fraud. They don't know what I'm talking about, even though I did. And it took a lot of practice in getting in front of people. And it was just, at some point, I just relaxed. And I think that's probably the biggest key is just not having that anxiety over they're not going to believe me, and just speaking as the person who knows. You're training people, you're talking to people who don't know, so they need that hand to guide them through whatever this subject material is, and you have to be the person to do that. And that's that, and that a lot of it is just practice. Just like anything, you suck at it at first. I think Dave Grohl said it best: you suck at it and you suck at it, and eventually you suck a little less. It's
There's
just,
a lot of sucking.
and it's yeah, easy now. But
Wow.
that's
Let the record
Well-
show that I did not go there first.
Well, I mean, I think one of my favorite things about that is, or one of my favorite sayings that goes along with something like that is, anything that's worth doing is worth doing bad. So like you're gonna be bad at it at the very beginning, but then as you get more confident and comfortable with it, it just becomes easier. It just
Right.
flows off the tongue. But yeah, so would you say that the most important thing that somebody can do to sound more like a subject matter expert is just confidence?
Yeah, confidence. And my cold read was terrible. I
Dan rule violation.
Right. But that wasn't a real read. Come on. But and from listening to other people, I'm, kind of adding those little critiques that other people made on the previous reads. And in the end, I didn't really do any of those. A lot of the little nuance I put in was just, it was just me. It's the way that I talk,
And you see, that is really powerful for branding. Like that is really powerful for branding. Knowing that is your brand. Like we just got a great James Newcomb read, and it was really fantastic. So let's hear it one more time. We can't just let you off the hook with doing it just once.
Yeah.
Now watch me totally tank on this one.
Your cold read was terrible. What?
Oh, bless us with another one.
Oh, and cans off, monitoring off too. Have you ever, now I'm stumbling. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done. So it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
That copycat.
Yep. That's a read for sure. So I don't
missed the first read. Yeah, I had something happen here at the door, so I had to deal with that. So I only got to hear this one, and I thought it was a little fast.
Okay.
Oh, really? Okay.
So was it just me? I don't know.
Maybe we were all awestruck by the first read, but
Yeah, and I wasn't.
Slow it down.
So there we are.
Okay, slow it down.
Sure.
One more read.
Now I'm doing it again. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year. It's how business gets done. So it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's art. I don't know. I don't remember because I think we discussed it before. I don't remember exactly where you wanted to get into when it comes to voiceover, but you can certainly market yourself well towards e-learning and really establish yourself to start with there. For sure. That is a very viable avenue for you.
E-learning and commercial are the two.
Yep. You've certainly got the tools for e-learning. I'll say that for sure.
Thank you.
All right. Moving right along. Roddy, you're going to have to follow that performance up.
Wait to see what it's going
to do. Whenever you're ready, Roddy.
Okay, but look. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done. So it can't be ignored. And that's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
Okay, opening it up. What did y'all think of that one?
It seemed a little too musical. Not like you were talking to professionals.
Yeah.
Almost like you were trying to spell it out, like they don't know what the problem is what I got out of that.
Make sure you billboard the right words to highlight what the product is, because I think definitely the where you said that's where Shuri comes in. Just make sure you put more of the emphasis on Shuri to highlight that the product rather than the other words around it, because we don't need to know that. We need to know Shuri.
Gotcha.
I would.
Yeah, that
Yeah, go ahead, Leonard.
yeah, that particular line, that's where Shuri came in. That went really salesy for me. Other than that, I generally liked it, except you had quite a few pauses in there that didn't really feel natural and conversational to me.
Yeah, finally, in the beginning, almost to the mid part of the second paragraph, you had a good voice that I wanted you to keep doing till the end, but midway you changed to something different. It was more playful than professional in a sense. So, of course, adding up on the other people who mentioned that as well. So let's go for take two. Hope you rock it.
Got it. Dial it back a bit on the cause dial it back a bit. Got it.
One final note that I wanted to add in here is the way you hit but. It was almost like a gotcha moment. Like, but you weren't expecting this, were you? I don't think that's the right choice. I would think that the reason why you're bringing that up is you're trying to bring them back to the idea of, okay, well, now we've got to get back to the slog. The fact is, networking is annoying. You've achieved the rapport with your audience, but it's essential to growing your business. It's like, yeah, it is, unfortunately. You feel their pain.
Yeah.
So
So
it's not a gotcha. It's more of a, but we gotta do it.
right.
It's like when you're trying to tell a kid who's going to bed, I don't want to go to bed, but you're gonna feel better in the morning after you've slept.
It was an experiment making a few of the choices I did.
100% okay with that. We're letting you know it didn't quite communicate what the script is going for.
Mhm. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done. So it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
Okay, opening it up. What did you all think?
I like the tone on that one a lot more. I love the
Yep.
way you hit work. It was just kind of a shrug off, but it really worked with no pun intended. it was nice. Over to that. The way you hit that last word, I think was perfect.
Say less musically
Yeah,
like
the
that
thing
person was saying.
is
I think you fixed it from the critique I had.
yeah, I would say that you definitely did, because again, you're talking to business professionals, people who own their own businesses. Like, they're already selling, they're already, getting things off the ground, they're making money doing this. So you changed your audience with this read. This was definitely more towards a professional audience. And to me, I really liked this one. I think it had a really solid pace. It was easy to follow along. It wasn't over the top or overblown in any places. It felt like you were the subject matter expert and we were following along with what you were saying. Although I am open to people disagreeing with me or agreeing, that also feels good too, but it's up to you, whatever you feel.
Yeah, I thought it was really solid, but I am tempted to ask for 3 takes of the last line.
Of the last line? Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Go for it whenever you're ready.
All right. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
Okay.
Where'd he go? Oh, there he is.
I like the A take, the first take.
Same. Same. Okay.
Yeah, probably the A take for me as well, but
Okay.
I would have actually liked a take where you didn't have the long pause there where the dashes are, where you just say networking work without a pause there.
Okay.
Reading too much into the script. I'm saying I was like following it it a bit too much.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll follow it less strictly.
No apologies.
So go ahead. Yeah, give us another read. Just give us another ABC take, final line, but just cut out a lot of the pause.
Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
Okay, we wanted you to cut. I wanted you to cut down the pause, not get rid of it entirely. C was good.
You could have added a slight pause after Shuri's just so that highlighting the product, so that we know that what it is, and then go on with it. If you were to put in a slight pause or like a slight little lift.
Roddy, do you know why there is why there are dashes there? Why there's a pause there?
Working and work. They sound, I was about to say, like it sounds a bit, not sure how to describe it, but
it's a bit jokey.
Yeah, jokey. Yeah.
So there's a pause there because you're in on the joke. It's a shrug. Use that, okay, well, I'm going to say something kind of funky, but whatever, it works. Sure is a new app that steps in to make networking work. Right? You're in on the joke. So you know it's going to sound kind of dumb, but you go with it anyway. So give me one more read where you just give a slight shrug on work. Where you make networking, work.
All right. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
Okay. You hit Shuri very hard, but you ended it off perfectly. That send off, that final part of the sentence, that was perfect.
One more take.
Sure. Put it all together. Put it all together. Yeah.
I meant the last
Shuri
line.
is a new app. Yeah. No. Yeah. The last line. So put everything that we talked about all together for that last line. Shuri is a new app that makes networking work.
Shuri is a new app that makes Shuri is a new app that steps in and makes networking work.
And there, we have it. 100%. That is our tagline.
Good to go.
Okay, you got the letter thumbs up, so I think we're safe now. All right. Moving right along. Justin, you are up.
Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business, whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of hundreds of people you meet each year. It's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in and makes networking work.
All right. Thoughts? Opening it up.
Great ending. It's just one slight technical error. I wouldn't say error, just maybe improvement. Just pronunciation of words. There were some words that liked in the beginning. Then he got business. Your. They were not. To me, they were not audible. Or they got mushed. Just try to pronounce them. That's all.
Okay.
There were a
Felt it
couple.
was pretty solid overall. My one request would be slow down just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that might fix some of the technical errors I heard because you missed keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year.
Oh, oops.
Yeah, Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work. I remember there was a word in there that was skipped over, but yeah, I think slowing it down just a hair and just being really careful about what you say is going to fix it. It's going to fix the technical notes. Your headspace, though, the professional tone that you're going for, is working. That you don't need to change. It's just the speed that we want to hear differently.
Sure thing. Okay. Have you ever met someone? Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
I like that tone. Or sorry, pace. I like that pace. Um, Tone still solid, so I didn't have any issues with that. I thought overall, really, really solid read. What did you all think?
I second that. I think there's something missing. Just I don't know what it is. Um, thinking about it, I feel like he could add more energy. I wouldn't say tone. I wouldn't say uh, like any emotions. Everything was good. It just it needed more oomph,
Energy.
if that makes sense. Energy.
Michael's favorite word. My the thing that came to my mind. Well, first the pace was good, so good job on fixing that. The one suggestion that was coming to my mind is change the setting to where you're talking to this guy in a bar
So more
and just see what happens.
more low key, more relaxed, or
A little friendly, a little more relaxed.
Wait a minute. How many drinks in is he?
Good question.
Just one, but at least one.
But at least one, okay.
Have you ever met someone like networking?
Some people
got
just
more-
can't hold their liquor.
That's where Shuri comes in.
I've got a
Love
technical
Shuri.
note on when you had said annoying. You said annoying, but the emotion that I picked up was like sadness. Networking is annoying. Like I didn't get annoyance from that. It was the emotion and the word that was a mismatch for me. But other than that, everyone else has said, just the couple things. I agree with those.
I would say to add to that, if you do this read or the next one with a bit more of a smile, I think that's where like a brighter touch would come from.
Well, that's it. That's what I wanted to say. Good on you,
But-
Paul. You
Yeah.
fetched it.
So
What is
what
it?
I'm hearing is a bit brighter
Yeah.
and
Yes,
make
yes,
annoying
no
more
energy.
annoyed.
Okay. Networking is annoying. Ugh.
Yeah, that's after your fifth drink. You just vomit off the side of the bar.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh my gosh. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying. But
Justin, did we lose you? Oh, rip. I think we lost Justin.
No.
Yeah, you're right, Ram. That was perfect. That was a really,
Damn,
really
was-
good read.
that was a good read. So unlucky.
Watch, he probably gave us like the greatest read we had so far, and it's just gone now. It's somewhere in the ether. Dang. Okay. Well, he'll probably reconnect, and we'll get back to him. But
Oh, I think
hey,
we
can
hear
you
him.
guys hear me?
yes,
Yeah,
we can
there
hear
you
you.
go.
I don't know what happened. I just got cut
Oh
off.
no! It did it have it again?
I don't
How
think
about
so.
now?
Okay, we can hear you. We can hear you. Quickly, while we still have you, give us another read.
Oh no. What rule did I violate this time?
You didn't violate any. In fact, we all thought that your read was really, really strong starting up. Like it was probably your best read yet, and then it just cut right off.
It cut off at but.
Oh, crap.
Such anticlimactic.
Such a tragic end.
Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, geez, guys. Have we ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential. But it's essential to growing your business, whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year. It's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
Marvelous.
So the pace was a little bit quick on this one, but I only point that out because you were directed to slow it down. Not that I actually felt that it was a problem. I thought your pace was appropriate, particularly for the voice and for the character that you were portraying. Overall, I really liked this read.
Yeah, me too. I wanted to say as well, if you guys haven't realized, but he's also the first person to use an outside verbal action before he started.
Yeah.
You realize where he said, "Hey guys," and he continued. I think that's when he got in the mood perfectly. So props to you, Justin.
Yeah, that pre-life helped.
Oh, thank you.
I think
Yeah,
I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna steal it from you.
I was reacting to
I think
I was reacting to someone saying something silly in the bar and go into the read.
I think the one drink was perfect.
But yeah, no, that is absolutely a powerful tool to use as the pre-life, and I encourage it wherever possible, wherever it makes sense. Use it, and Justin, you used it to a flawless degree here. Honestly, really, really solid read.
Great, thank you.
Moving right along, the consummate professional Jamie is now up. Jamie, whenever you're ready.
You heard about Justin, right? Got him right after his first drink. Woo! Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year. It's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Scan this. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work. Work.
All right, opening it up. What did you all think?
It sounded like Jamie. This is a good thing.
That was a very Jamie.
Maybe give us 3 takes of the last line.
It's the last one.
Where it takes a while.
Maybe 3 takes of the last line.
Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work. Shuri's a new app that steps in to make networking work.
I'm in Camp C. Just saying.
Same.
Camp
Same.
C all the way.
Yeah, see.
I was going B, but C is also good.
Okay, well, that means that there's plenty of options when it comes to it.
I did think it was a bit drawn out, the way work was said. Just a tad too drawn out.
Okay, so then would you
Yeah,
prefer B?
I did feel like all 3 of those takes, none of them quite hit it for me. They made work sound, I don't know, like almost annoyed.
Yeah, sort of. I think that's the consequence of drawing it a bit too long. Yeah, I think if it were buttoned up a bit, it would sound better.
But so, well, one thing is, or something that I want to hear actually, and this is something I wanted to give you for your last read, is while I like the friendly and approachable tone that you have, I think you missed out on professionals, at least in the middle section. Because I think, but it's essential to growing your business is kind of like, well, let's get down to business. Let's talk about the stuff that sucks. So I would like to hear you take a little bit more control during that point. Just be like, but it's essential to growing your business. You know, like we got to do it. Kind of mirroring the mindset of just bucking up and going for it that a lot of these business owners probably have to do. I just want to hear what that does to your read. Just where you take that middle paragraph with more of a professional approach. I don't mind the very, very relaxed Jamie approach at the beginning, not at all. But I just want to hear the professional approach right in the middle of it.
Yeah, I was kind of like, for Justin, it helped putting him in the bar. For Jamie, I kind of want to take him out of the bar and put him on a TED Talk.
Doggone it.
You know,
No
I was
drinks for you.
Late, he's already 3 drinks in.
It's 2 for Tuesdays on a Monday. Come on.
I
man.
was thinking I was doing a TED Talk in my first 2 reads.
Did we cut out? What happened?
No, everyone's just quiet.
No, we're just waiting on you, man. Whenever you're ready from the top.
Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year. It's how business gets done. so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Drinks on me! No.
All right. What did y'all think of that one?
Definitely controlled. That's good. I like the tone in this one the best. I like the
Got to
tone of this
corral
one.
the gremlin.
The relaxed professional.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jamie, your natural delivery is always that much more controlled, relaxed, easy to approach style of read. You've shown that to us from the very beginning, from when you first started joining us. I liked when you took more control, a little bit more professional in the middle, and towards the, as again, that's who we're trying to appeal to, professionals. And again, while your natural, relaxed, and approachable tone isn't a bad thing, I just don't think that it was the only thing to do throughout this entire script. So the slight modification there really helped out, and I think you're right on the money here. To be perfectly honest, I think you're right where you need to be.
Well, you know what I say to that? There we go. That's sparkling water, by the way.
Popped open a cold one, huh? All right. Well, does anybody have anything else they'd like to say to Jamie before moving on?
No.
Cool. Let's do it then. I mean, come on. Have you ever met somebody who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work. Okay, opening it up.
Solid as always. I'd still slow it down 10%.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I
agree. It
guess
seemed just a little quick.
that,
Okay.
and I think also, I love the tone. How would I say this? I think turn on just a tad bit of the corporateness because I love the friendly tone, but I think how do I say it? I think it could use a tad bit more of command,
Okay.
like not projected, but like more like command gravitas type of formal. If this was to a, because I think at certain points I think it was more like if it was for a conversational, it worked and it is great. But I think see if you could find something that's more like
More professional.
more professional. Yeah.
Okay. So slow it down, more professional. All right. I mean, are you kidding me? Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work. Okay, opening it up.
Well, I think you adjusted the speed. But then I'm not sure if you sounded more professional from Paul's direction.
Okay.
I'm kind of leaning towards it. It sounded the same as the first read.
Okay.
I think you need a more high-powered audience. Like you're talking to a bunch of CEOs, not middle managers.
I would say
And just see what that does.
I would say I got that professionalism more in the first paragraph. It just kind of went back toward the more friendlier side of things as it progressed, I would say.
Okay. Okay. All right then. All right. Have you ever met someone who liked networking? Neither have we. The fact is, networking is annoying, but it's essential to growing your business. Whether it's finding new customers, building relationships with vendors, or just keeping track of the hundreds of people you meet each year, it's how business gets done, so it can't be ignored. That's where Shuri comes in. Shuri is a new app that steps in to make networking work. Okay. Did that fix the issues?
Yeah, I think so. I think that hit the professional tone much more.
Yeah, work for me. Good job.
All right. Well, I've got some claps and some thumbs up, so we'll call it there. Mateo, are you ready? Is your connection okay?
No, I doubt it is, but we are going to do what we can. Yeah.
Well, we can hear you fine. You're coming through well. And I say that, and then we lose you.
You
So
had to
soon,
say.
guy.
You had to jinx.
I did. I had to point out that it was actually okay.
Yeah.
Testing 1 2. Mateo, you there? You're shown as not being muted, so
I'm back.
are you?
Yeah,
No, that
We
was
heard you, and
Justin.
then you muted. Okay. Well, we might have to do this one off stream because, yep, there we go. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and end the streamed portion of this, or I guess it's also the recorded portion. Necessarily welcome to hang out. We can chat and discuss whatever we want to, and also we'll probably get the Mateo's read after this. But for all of those who've watched us on YouTube, thank you so much. All the links and stuff is, and let you thought. But, that's it for now. So let's call it, shall we?